Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time for the Dayton Metro area for January 2025. But Kyle, you say, I am looking at this report that says December 2024 at the bottom. Why is that? Well, I record this in January. The real estate statistics, the most recent complete set that we have is from December. And we compile all these on the last day of the month, generate this very pretty report. If you would like a copy of it, feel free to click the link down below. There's a nice PDF you can download. So basically, December is the last complete month of statistics that we have. Not a good idea to do day to day or week to week, like weekly reports. Just there's too much variables in an average week. Sometimes you'll hit holidays. Sometimes you'll hit like a stretch of thunderstorms or, just everyone's kind of bummed about something. So month to month is a long enough period of time in real estate that it evens all that out. And then we compare month to month. So we are comparing December 2024 to December 2023. And we do that because during the course of a year, there is a natural ebb and flow of houses going up for sale, as well as the number of people looking to buy a home also ebbs and flows. A lot of times, obviously, holidays, things are usually a little bit subdued compared to, say, the summertime. And also, ending and beginning of school year is also kind of a low point in the year. So it's not really a good idea to compare December to, say, July. You're not going to glean a lot of useful information for that. Market's been a little wild the last couple of years, so I have been looking at the month to month to try to get more of a direct pulse on the market for what's going. Main thing is supply and demand has been pretty finely balanced for the last couple of years. And overall, what we've been having is we'd have 6 months of shrinking inventory and price increases, and then, another 6 months of price declines, usually over the winter time. As inventory build, number of buyers goes down and prices naturally kind of fall a little bit. Now, obviously, Tampa Bay area, the big thing is, we had 2 hurricanes come through. One thing I will say in driving around the area and kind of seeing where the damage is at and stuff like that, by and large, the market has not taken as big of a hit as you would think it would. Hillsborough County especially has held extremely steady throughout the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Median sales price is basically bounced within a $10,000 range. Pinellas County's moved around a little bit more, but what we really have here is 2 separate markets in Pinellas County. So you have the coastal stuff that significantly flood damage. Drywall is torn up to 4 feet, and the only people that can really buy those is cash. So that is its own separate market right now. And then you have everything else, which is the vast majority of the county, which was not affected by Hurricane Milton or Hurricane Helene. Not to say that there was no houses that were damaged or flooded that were not on the coast. I'm just saying that those are few and far between compared to the vast cross-section of the county. And 4 months on now from those hurricanes, the market has not crashed. Things are still relatively steady. And at least anecdotally, both with these delayed statistics, as well as, my own business and the number of people that I'm talking to about buying in the area, there's not really been a lot of diminished demand, which is good. We don't want a market crash. Market crashes are terrible for everybody. Now, if you remember back to your math class, you might remember mean, median, mode. Or in the case of real estate statistics, we usually do average and median. So average is you take 6 houses, you add up the prices of those houses, you divide it by 6, that gives you the average sales price. Median sales price is a little different. With median sales price, let's say that you have 60 houses that sold in a neighborhood. The median sales point is the point at which there is an equal number of homes that sold for more as there are for less. Personally, I like median better because the market does not swing as much with median sales price, whereas average, if you have a large number of very inexpensive or just very expensive homes that sell. So let's say we hit a month where, maybe there's 3 or 4 $10 million properties that sell, that will yank the average sales price up significantly, but it will not impact the median sales price nearly as much. So that's why I usually pay a little bit more attention to the median sales price. Now, as you may know, wintertime is definitely the doldrums when it comes to real estate. A lot of that is because it is single digits currently outside, and there is also about a foot of snow still in my front yard. Just kind of puts a damper on everybody's willingness to go out and look at houses. But these numbers are for December, so they're going to be a little bit nicer than the January numbers will probably be. Total number of closed sales was up 1% to 916 homes. Median sales price was up 12.7% from 213,000 to 240,000. Average sales price was up 5.2% from $254,954 to $268,163. Median percent of original list price was down 1.1% from 97.6% to 96.5%. And median time to sale is up 1.9% to 53 days. Frequent viewers of these videos will know that I don't really like median time to sale. I prefer median time to contract. But unfortunately, our MLS does not give us that information. So what I usually do is I take median time to sale and then I subtract 30 to 35 out of it. So that puts us at 23 to like 15 days. So within a couple weeks, the median house in the Dayton Metro area is going under contract. Total number of new listings was actually down slightly, 0.4%, from 788 homes to 785 homes. And total active inventory is up 22.1% to 1,711 homes. Now, I do like to touch on the different price points because $1 million house sells at a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 house, and that is all about the buyer pool. There's just more buyers in the $300,000 market than in the $1 million market. Kind of a mixed bag here, honestly. Everything's just hanging around kind of that 50 to 60 day mark. 100 and 150,000 though is down at 49 days, which is a decrease of 3.9%. Million or more is hanging around longer, 45.5% increase to 80 days. Not too crazy. 600 to a million is up 17.6% to 60 days. But then 300 to 400 is 55, 250 to 300 is 51. And they're all about 1.8% change, like negative 1.8% change, 2% increase. That's pretty much holding steady. Total number of closed sales by sales price. 250 to 300,000 is up 30.1% to 121. 300 to 400,000 is up 4.1% to 153. 400 to 600 is up 25.6%, and 600 to a million is up 6.1% to 35 homes. Number of new listings, we have a big spike at 300 to 400,000, which is up 49.5% to 139. More than likely, that is probably 250 to 300 price point that has slid up into that 300 to 400 price point, if I had to guess, because that is a pretty intense price point. 400 to 600 actually went down a little bit. There was 3.9% fewer houses, new listings, for a total of 74, and 600 to a million was down 16.7% to 35. And then total inventory, which is last day of the month, we take a snapshot and we basically just see how many houses are for sale at each price point. Mostly up across the board. So 43.2% more between 150 and 200,000. That's 305 homes. 250 to 300,000 was up 32.3% to 209. 300 to 400,000 was up 43% to 286. 400 to 600 is kind of the outlier, only a 1% change, 199 homes. 600 to a million was up 27.3%, 126 homes, and a million or more was up 30.4%, total of 30 houses. So those are the Dayton real estate statistics. So where is the Dayton Metro at when it comes to real estate statistics? Well, it's been on pretty steady is the main thing. Obviously, wintertime is a bit of a lull. Number of buyers is down. Inventory builds a little bit just because not as much stuff is selling. Usually what always happens, into February or March, the buyers come back. A lot of it is PCS, military and civilian transfers. Coming into Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, looking for houses. As you start to hit the spring and go into the summertime, prices start to go up a little bit. We do have a little bit more inventory than we have had in the previous year, which is good, especially if you're looking to buy something. The number of multiple offer situations has definitely gone down, especially compared to like 2 years ago. But again, you still don't want to wait around too long because, again, median time to contract is around that 15 to 20 day mark. But I will say that it's a little bit easier to negotiate repairs, a little bit easier to negotiate price reductions and things of that nature. Now, median sales price is up. So if you've been thinking about buying, it's still an outstanding time to realize one of the highest price points we've ever seen. It's kind of difficult to predict what the economy is going to do over the next year or two. But at least for the immediate, next few months, things are looking pretty good. I don't see anything in the statistics that is cause for concern that there's going to be a major economic turn or anything. I'm also an active agent down in Florida. Things are, as you can imagine, a lot wilder down that way. Just, the market just kind of whips on around a little bit. But Dayton, God bless her, very steady, not a lot of surprises. And honestly, when it comes to real estate market, that is much preferred to, or even just, the craziness of 2021, 22, where, prices were just going up, $15,000 a month. Like that's unsustainable. So anyway, market statistics are good. I don't see anything that's a major concern either on the buyer side or the seller side. Like there's actually good news on both. On the buyer side, there's a lot more to choose from. On the seller side, prices are still nearly as high as they've ever been. Both really positive outlooks. Again, I keep an eye on this every month. I do one of these every month. If I see something that starts to become a cause for concern, primarily what it usually shows up in is if that time to sale really starts ticking up, then that's when, alarm bells need to start going off. That's when alarm bells start going off in my head. But thus far, everything is super smooth, super level. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching these real estate market statistics for Dayton, Ohio. The coverage area here is Piqua to Springboro and West Alexandria all the way to Xenia. So these statistics cover that entire geographical area. So if you're looking at it like that, there's not a lot of houses for sale, but there are a good number more than there were last year, which is good news for buyers. If you would like help finding an amazing home in the Dayton Metro area, I would love to help you out. You can reach me at 937-907-6777. Or there's also a link in the description down below. You can click on that and book a chat at the time that works best for you. Once again, my name is Kyle Sasser. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.